Okay, and we are live. I have YouTube here, I have TikTok here, and we're just going to get started. So, yeah, if I am kind of looking all over the place, it's because I want to look into both cameras. And if I was smart, I would try to put my phone up near the camera, but whatever. All right, so if you are watching on TikTok, let me know where you're coming in from. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments where you are. If you're watching the replay, comment replay and tell me where you are watching from. That would be awesome. And if you are coming in, I just have one thing to say, and that is regardless of where you are in your life, regardless of the age, whatever, you can make a change. And that's why, it's crazy when you think about it, because our parents, our grandparents didn't have that choice, right? So if hold on, sorry, I'm getting weird stuff from TikTok. Don't show for 10 minutes, decline. Okay. Sorry, just had weird thing from TikTok. Obviously people watching this, I don't know how old you are, but there are many people that are over 50 that are carrying a ton amount of stress, right? About money, retirement, the future, and no one really talks about it. So tonight obviously isn't about hype by any means. It's not about getting rich. It's just about options and maybe peace of mind that, you know, you might have, because I didn't have peace of mind, at the age of 53 and laid off a couple months ago. That peace of mind, well, even prior to that, I didn't have peace of mind as far as money's concerned. And, it's a tough situation to be in, especially when you're a little older, because you tend to slow down. Um, and, I'm in a weird position because, I have my parents, um, my mom and stepdad, I have 3 kids in college, and I have to focus on retirement, right? So it's a hard thing to balance everything. And oh, sorry, I just found out about the software I was using. So I wanted to, I went online actually. I was on TikTok and came across a live stream just like you're watching now. And they talked about having an online business. And I'd done businesses before online, and the alignment just wasn't there. Like, I tried and had a little bit of success, but unfortunately didn't pay a lot of the bills, so I just gave up and quit for a while. And so it was recently that I decided to get back into things, and wow, things are so different now. Things are easier. Wait, no, I forgot. Usually I sit like on a pillow, and I forgot to grab it. We have a lot of options as far as making an additional income stream, as opposed to just having to get a part-time job, because that was definitely not an option for me. I'd done that in my 20s, and I sure as hell wasn't going to do that in my 50s, getting a part-time job on top of the full-time job I was already working. And, one of the things that really scares me about retirement is not necessarily the lifestyle, the travel, or luxury. It's actually the medical bills. My husband had cancer 15 years ago. Luckily, everything's good. Last year, he had a heart attack. So what scares me is these darn medical bills. And then, having the need to carry insurance, right? For obviously kids and obviously us, right? And a few years ago, I lost my dad to leukemia. He was in the hospital for 3 months straight, and the bills were unreal. Unreal. And then that's when it kinda hit me even harder. It's like, you could save, you can plan, you can do everything right, and still not know how much you actually need for retirement. And that's what's so scary, because none of us knows what's coming. Like, you just think of how much the world has changed in the past, a couple of years. The prices of things are crazy, interest rates are crazy, credit cards, oh my gosh, the credit card interest rates are insane right now. And, if you are fearful of the thought of retiring, which is sad to say, right? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're on TikTok or YouTube, because yeah, it's just scary. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Kim, 53 years old. Oh boy, did life throw some crazy turns at me. And I know a lot of you can relate, one of them being my husband's health conditions, right? And, unfortunately, and I regret it now, but I had to walk away from a really good job because I just couldn't afford the daycare. Because at the time we had 3 kids full time in daycare, and it was just, I should have stuck it out. Um, but I didn't. So I was home for 5 years. So it was 5 years that, number 1, I wasn't advancing my career. Number 2, I sure as hell wasn't saving for retirement. So, I finally went back to work when they were in school age, and then a couple years later I get laid off. And then a couple years later my husband gets laid off, and then a couple years later I get laid off again. So, yeah, let me know in the comments if you can relate, because it's just like one thing after another on top of layoff. If it's not a layoff, it's a medical bill that's just, and it's not that we're irresponsible. It's just because life happens. And the honest truth is, I don't want to work for the next 20 years. I don't want to work until I'm 75 or 80 years old. I mean, well, put it this way. I want to work, just not in a corporate American environment type of thing. And, I actually have enjoyed all the jobs that I've had. And not many people can say that. Let me know in the comments if you actually enjoy your job, because I've actually been so incredibly lucky to have had great jobs, but unfortunately, and not that I wasn't making great money, it's just with the unexpected bills, it just wasn't enough, right? And the unexpected layoffs. So, here's my situation right now is I have 3 kids in college. They are far away. It's not like I could drive in even an hour to go see them. They're 5 hours away, 10 hours away. And that's what is hurting me right now, knowing that I can't go to see them just whenever I want. I know when I first started my career in my early 20s, I knew that by the time I was 50, I was going to be close to retirement. And the reason why I had that age in mind was because that's when my stepdad retired. He retired when he was 52 or something. And I'm like, I want to be like that too. So for me, retirement isn't necessarily like lounging on the beach, although I wouldn't mind that. It just means having control, having control of your time and your income, and just being able to do whatever it is that you want to do. And like I said, I don't mind. I will work for the rest of my life, but I just want to be in control of my time, where I go, if I want to call out sick or whatever. And I think the turning point was when I turned 52. And, like I was saying earlier, when I started corporate America, that's when my stepdad retired. And I remember thinking, I want that. That's what I want. And here I am, and I'm sure as hell not there yet. So instead of being, beating myself up, which obviously didn't make all the great decisions in the world, I decided to make a decision. And I decided that my job today will pay for today's bills, but I would build something in addition, like a side hustle, whatever you want to call it, to fund my future. Because otherwise, I'll never be able to retire. And I know that there are so many people over the age of 50 in that same situation. And that's when I stopped asking, like, what kind of job could I get? And I started asking, what skill could I get right now that can't be taken away? And I know this is going to be a little weird, but one of the weirdest ways that people can retire right now is selling digital products. And I know what you're thinking, isn't that for young people? And the answer is no. And in fact, people over 50 are doing better in this type of side hustle because we're consistent, we're patient, and we are real. And I'll be honest with you, I've made money online, but my biggest success was a YouTube channel during the pandemic helping people with unemployment. And it worked because it solved the real problem. And that's the key. So if you're going to build something at this stage of life, it has to check off a couple boxes, right? It needs to be digital. If you want to sell something, if you want to make money online, you have to sell something. Now, if you have a physical product, maybe you have, if you're selling vitamins, you have to pay for shipping. You have to pay for returns and customer service and share commissions with the people that make the product. But see, here's the cool thing. If you sell something, and I'm not saying you can't sell this, I'm just saying maybe it could be a side income, right? So if you're looking to really capitalize off the money that you can make, you want to pick a digital product. Number one, it has to be in high demand. Because if it's in high demand, it's going to be easier to sell. And if it's digital, you've no shipping, no inventory, that means it could be global. So the entire world can be your customer. Now, this is something that is so incredibly important, is that it needs to pay well, not just 20, 30% commissions. What if I was to tell you there are products out there that will pay you, they're already created, they will pay you 100% profit. So you make $100 sale, you make $100. Whereas if you were to sell vitamins for $100 and they only pay 20%, you're only going to make $20. What would you rather have? If you sold a $100 product, would you rather have $20 or would you have $100? So that's important. And over 10 years ago, that's what I was doing. I was selling products, but I was making these tiny commissions. And that's how I got burned, because when I was working a full-time job, taking care of my kids, and then even after they went to bed, I would work my business at night. And yes, I was making sales, but I was still broke because I was sharing the commissions with the people that own the company. And along with starting a brand new business, let me ask you right now, if you were to sell something right now online, do you know how to do that effectively? Because here's the thing, a lot of people don't, unless you majored in marketing as a college kid, or you have a career in marketing, you probably don't know how to sell it the right way that's actually going to sell online. So when you decide to get involved in a program or a side hustle, you want to make sure it's beginner friendly, which is exactly why I chose the program that I chose, because it teaches you step by step how to market the digital products, and the systems are already built. So the good thing is you do not need technical skills, and you don't even have to be on camera like I am right now. And the best part is you don't have to be on. You don't have to be working your business for 8 hours a day like a full-time job. Because I don't know about you, but my brain is not what it used to be. And when I was looking for a side hustle, I was looking for something that I could do realistically on top of a full-time job, on top of still taking care of my kids. I mean, they're in college now. They don't really need taking care of, but you know what I mean. I still want to spend that time. And what shocked me even more is there are so many, obviously, side hustles out there that, number one, you have to pay for ads. I don't know about you, but I love social media because you pay zero for your marketing. There are a lot of side hustles out there that you have to buy ads. Buying ads is expensive. Back in the day, I used to do Facebook pay-per-click, and I didn't do too well with it. But I would spend probably several $100s every single month and literally get nothing in return. Now, obviously, pay-per-click, that totally works. I just didn't have the budget to be able to learn it. So in looking for a side hustle, I was looking for something that costs zero money, something that I could do on social media, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And what's great is, when oh my God, this is going to completely blow your mind. When you make a sale, a lot of programs out there, you have to wait 30 days to get paid. When you make a sale, that money will hit your bank account the next day. Let me know in the comments if that is something that is really freaking cool. Because I get bills unexpectedly, especially the medical bills, all the time. And it's so nice knowing that when I make a sale today, that money's going to be in my bank account tomorrow. That is huge for a lot of people. And, our program, so let me actually go back to we have something that's called a 2-hour workday. So what this means is you can fit your income producing activities done in 2 hours a day or less. Now you might be thinking, Kim, I don't have 2 hours a day. And I totally get that. But the beauty of this is you can work this business through the nooks and crannies of your day. So what I used to do is, if I would have to drive into work, right, I would get in my car, obviously. On the drive to work, I would listen to some training. And then when I would get to work, I would create a couple pieces of content in my car before I would walk in the office. And during my lunch break, instead of me hanging out with coworkers and going out to lunch, I would work my business. So by the time I got home from my full-time job, I was already done in hour and a half of my business for the day. So then all I would have to do is maybe work an extra 30 minutes at night after I got home. And that's what's so cool is, if you have 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, maybe 5 minutes before a meeting, you can spend that time working your business. And because I know, and if oh man, I wish I would have had this business when my kids were doing their activities, because I used to drive my kids to dance and just literally sit in the parking lot for an hour. And if I would have had something like this, I'd be able to work my business while they were, in dance class, and I can actually feel productive. So this program is, and I'll actually get into, I'll show you the, like the training and stuff like that in a second. But this program is for 3 kinds of people. Number 1, and this is probably going to be a majority of the people, it's for people that want to make money online but have no idea where to start. Like they don't know what product to sell. They want to build a profitable business anywhere from, $100 a day all the way up to $1,400 plus every single day. Number 2, this is for small business owners that simply just want more customers, because we're going to teach you how to get foot traffic in your door from social media. And then 3, these are people that already have a skill, but they want to create their own digital product. And they want to learn how to market that. And obviously, if you want to see exactly how all this works, the link is below. And, even if you decide not to get started today, at least you know your options, because understanding your options is how you're going to take your power back, right? And let me start to share my screen. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to flip. Sorry, I'm going to flip my camera here. Okay. Melissa. And I love this. I made my first sale. I started back August 2025, and she finally made her first sale. And that's what I love. It's just people that, because obviously if you get started in something, you're gonna have your doubts, right? You're gonna be scared. You're gonna be, can this really work for me? And I want to show you what's possible. And this is a great story. What a difference. Sorry, TikTok. What a difference a year can make. And actually, let me do this for there. A little over a year ago, we couldn't pay our mortgage, and Christmas was coming. And my husband was working all he could. And then this week, we vacationed for my husband's 50th, and $3,300 hit her bank account while we were in the middle of the Caribbean. What else pays regular moms like this? Absolutely amazing. Christina Bell, $15,000 as a stay-at-home mom. Sorry, I was just reading. If you ever been on my live, you hear me talking about the embarrassment for my sister-in-laws to see me post on social media. $15,000. Daryl, $1,500 total today, $3,000 in the last 48 hours. So, okay, so those are some of the income, right, that people are making. Now, what I want to do is show you all the training that you're going to get. So when you first log in to the back office, you are going to learn exactly what passive income is, and most importantly, how to get it, right? And how it works, how to set it up. Because people want that passive income. They just don't know what they need to do to set it up. Now, if you don't know what is passive income is something that you do, one time, but it keeps paying for you over and over again. Unlike a job, right? Because if you stop working, then the money's going to stop coming in. Now, community, we have a community of 50,000+ people. So the great thing is, while this is your business and ultimately you are responsible for your business, if you are stuck, if you have questions, obviously not only would you have me as a resource, but we have a community of over 50,000 people that will help you along the way. Now, lesson 3, what is resale rights? This just explains how you have master resale rights to sell any of the programs that are offered in this business. And then lesson 5, the 2-hour workday. And I think this is probably the most important lesson because people seem to kind of mess this up. I know for me, I certainly do. But if you realistically focus for 2 hours a day, and again, it can be broken up, you can make this business work and you can make more money in this business than your full-time job. And then here's another lesson, launch to profit in 7 days. And then the name of the game is automating your business. So what does this mean? This means that even though you're only working your business 2 hours a day, it means that your system is out there working for you for the rest of the 22 hours that's left of the day. And let's see. Let me flip this around. Hold on one second. I just want to. So let me show you what you're going to get. You're going to get a page like this. This is called a capture page. Now, what this does, regardless of what you're selling online, hold on for one second. Sorry about that. Regardless of the business that you start, you want to have a page like this. Now, this page, what it does, it collects email addresses. Now, the importance of this is when a lot of people start their business, they get their link and they just post it all over Facebook or social media, which is what I used to do. Trust me. Now, what happened was people would click my link. I didn't have a lot of sales, but people did click on my link. But here's the problem. If someone clicks on your link, and then what if the phone rings, or what if their kid starts crying, or what if, they have to go back to work? People are going to forget about your website within minutes. Now, what's so crucial about having a page like this is, as you can see, it collects an email address. Now, why this is important is because someone puts in their email address and maybe they're checking out the information and maybe they have to go, maybe they have to, the kid's crying or whatever, they have to go back to work. Once we have their email address, we can follow up with those people. And then they'll get an email from us and then they'll be like, oh, right, I totally forgot I was checking this out. Because the reality is when people visit your website for the first time, the chances of them buying the first time, it's not going to happen. there's a statistic out there saying that people need 7 to 10 exposures even before they decide to make a purchase. All right. So when you decide to get started, you're going to unlock 10 income streams. So if you've ever wanted multiple income streams, this is a nice start. And what's cool is beyond these 10 income streams, you have the opportunity to make even more. And this is what I love about this program, because it's not just selling the programs, it's about finding out what you really want to do. Because selling these programs is just the beginner step. And then once you learn how to sell the programs, once you learn how to market online, it's a whole other skill set. You'll be able to sell anything that you want. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Okay. So you have the opportunity to unlock 10 income streams and earn 100% profit from a done-for-you digital business. So that website that I sent you, or that we just saw, and this page as well, it's already done for you. It's already proven to work. What a lot of people have to do is when they start to sell something online, they have to create these pages themselves. So all of a sudden, they want to sell a product, but all of a sudden they have to turn into a copywriter. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not a good copywriter. So how would an extra $1,400 a day change your life? And if you've no experience, it's perfect for beginners. Learn to attract daily paying customers, and you keep every dollar that you make. You don't have to share with a team. You don't have to share with an upline. You don't have to share with the company. And our programs are actually available in English and Spanish. And all you have to do is work that 2 hours a day, and you can work anywhere. We have a community of 56,000 members. And in the first 10 months of this program launching, the community was paid $29 million. And you make one sale, and that automatically puts you in profit mode. You've already made your investment back. And here's what truly sets us apart is you can get certified. You can become a certified licensed reseller, and that gives you the ability to keep 100% of the profit that you make. You do not have to create the product because we have already done for you products here. And then maybe you are bilingual and you speak English and Spanish. You can sell this, you can maybe have an English account and then have a Spanish account. Oh, and then, we just added some new training here for AI. Let's make your content creation even easier by using ChatGPT and AI. So you'll receive training on AI social posting and just how to save time using your AI. And then if you want to see some success stories, here's a little bit about me. So this is perfect for someone that wants to make an extra income stream. Their 9 to 5 doesn't provide the financial security that maybe they were looking for. You want to work from home anywhere. Retirement is around the corner, but you just need a reliable income stream. Right? And what I love is all you need is cell phone, Wi-Fi, 2 hours a day. You can do this business on TikTok Or, you can do this on YouTube as well. So it's so incredibly simple to start. Now, obviously, success varies. It all depends on your work ethic. This isn't a get rich quick. This isn't a guaranteed that you're going to make money. Obviously, you have to work this business. You have to learn a new skill set. And think of it this way, it's almost like working a job for the first time, right? Because when you first work your job, I'm going to flip the camera around. When you work a job, you get hired, you don't know what the heck you're doing, right? This is the same kind of thing. When you work a job, you have to get trained and you have to learn a few skill sets. So, like I said, when you make the sale, you make 100% profit. There's no middleman, unlike affiliate marketing or a couple other of, commission-based programs out there. You don't have to share the commission. You don't have to build a team. You don't have to train your team because all the training is inside the program. You do not have to create a product. You can down the road. Like one of the reasons why I got started in this is because I didn't want to spend the time to create a product, but I definitely want to create a product about YouTube because I love YouTube and people need to know how great it is. And here's the thing. The product is in demand. You're not guessing if people want the product because it's already selling. If I went to sell this online, I don't know if it'll sell. I have no idea. Oh, hey, Nate. How are you? What's shaking? And here's where I failed years ago. And that is, I did affiliate marketing and I had to share my commissions. I was making a tiny 20, 30% commissions. And I was a top affiliate. I was making a lot of sales, but I was still broke. And then with other things like drop shipping, right? You have low margins and it's a lot of hassle. You have to do a lot of research with drop shipping because you have to find out what kind of product is in demand. I can't even imagine the amount of research that you have to do. And then once you do make a sale, I just got the #1 viewer badge. Yay. That's cool. Well, thank you. Oh, and something else is when you do a business like this, in the beginning, obviously you have to rely on, once you're learning stuff, you have to rely on people teaching you, right? There's going to be a time that this program no longer exists. I'm sure it's going to be not for a while, but it's just sort of the reality of it. And what you want to do is you want to be in a position where, regardless of if this company decides to move in a different direction or whatever, you want to protect your income. Now, what does that mean? You want to be prepared and have the skills to be able to move on to the next thing, right? Because what happened with me was I was making sales with a company and it was network marketing and I was making a residual income. And this happened actually a couple times. They closed the business. So I lost my residual income. I lost it. All that time I put in, yeah, it happened twice. And see, that's the thing. When you lose an income like that, it's, oh gosh, I actually hadn't thought about that in forever. And just thinking back, it was the scariest thing ever because I was really relying on that income and they just took it away from me. So we want to put you in a position eventually that you don't need these products anymore. Now, obviously, you always want to continue to learn, right? But that's the goal because we want this to, we want this to be a long-term business. I don't know about you, but I want this to be a long-term business. There are some people out there, they just want to make a quick buck and go away. Not me. I plan on doing something like this for the rest of my life because it's cool. And even if you're over 50 like I am, you can still do it too. It's not just for influencers anymore. It's not just for like 20-year-olds anymore. We can do this too. All right, so you might be wondering, all right, what's the prices? We have a program, or there's 5 programs in English. You pick the one that makes sense to you. But they range from $100 all the way up to $1,400, depending on what you are looking for. And yes, you can always upgrade later. So with the $100 program, we actually teach you something to do the free ads method. So maybe you want to start your own business, but you don't want to show your face, and maybe you don't want to create content on social media. This free ads method is the perfect thing to start because what you do, we give you the ads and you copy paste those ads into high traffic websites, and people find your ad. And when I say ad, you're not paying for it, it's completely free. And people, you can get sales doing that. So with the launch pad, you get one income stream. Now we have a $300 program. And what this does is you not only get the the copy paste method, but you also learn the foundations of building passive income streams. And the goal here is to make $300 a day. The goal for the Launchpad is to make $100 a day. So again, these programs are priced based on what you are wanting. And that's what I love because it's customized. So Digital Mastery, this is for someone that wants to earn $600 a day. And this will launch you into learning our 6-figure income secrets. So when you join at the 600 level, you get access to sell the 600, 300, and the 100. And then here is our Legacy Builder program. That's $900. And this gives you master resale rights to sell 4 programs. And you're going to learn how to unlock multiple income streams because why not? Done for you automation. We're going to give you the sales pages, the email funnels, how to follow up with people. We're going to give you all of that to set up just copy and pasting. We're going to give you organic or teach you traffic strategies, faceless branding, content marketing, and then the Legacy Builder bundle pack. You have the ability to earn 10 income streams. You could sell this in both Spanish and English. And then with this one, you get access to AI training. Now, all of these come with PAY plans. That's how I got started. I got started with a PAY plan. And of course, you get these bonuses as well. What's really cool is the 200 digital product ideas PDF workbook. So maybe you want to jump out on a limb and create your own product. We give you 200 product ideas that you can choose from and that you could sell. And then maybe you're in a position, maybe your job or whatever, that you can't show your face. We have a training. Again, regardless of the level that you come in at, we have a training here that you can get a full faceless marketing course as an added bonus to any of the programs. So I don't know what your current situation is. I don't know, but all I know is I needed a change. And I needed to not just rely on my job income because it just wasn't doing it for me anymore. Now, I don't know if you're in the same situation, but I don't know. I just want to do something on my own and not have to rely on corporate America because realistically, and I'm not downing corporate America by any means. I'm not downing a job because obviously we need it to survive, and with benefits and all the stuff that they offer is amazing. But I don't want to do it for the rest of my life. I want to take control. And type control in the comments if you agree. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say. And literally, all you need is a cell phone, Wi-Fi, and 2 hours a day. All you need is a cell phone. So instead of you scrolling on social media, you can make money online. And I think that's what's so powerful. And people just, don't understand that it's possible, especially if you're a little older like me. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Other than that, I'm going to end it here. YouTube, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And thanks for watching, and I will see you all on the next video.